Right guys, how are we? How the hell are we all doing? It's Wednesday night, it's the late night agenda. I'm your host Craig and you're very welcome to the channel. Look guys, I apologise I'm a few minutes late tonight, but as Connor says, I'm a tart. So apologies. Now we were just trying to fix something before we came on. There was just a bit of an issue with something, so we just wanted to get it sorted out before we came on. So look, apologies I'm late, but I'm here now. I don't even want to hear the words Manchester City tonight guys. I'm fucking sick of listening to them. Let's just chat amongst ourselves about the glorious thing that is Liverpool Football Club. How are we guys? Great to have so many of you on. It's an absolute pleasure to be here chatting to you. Anything you want me to talk about tonight? Any specific topics you want to cover? We've a little bit of transfer gossip. Nothing too much, I have to be honest. It's been quite quiet. I have a little bit of Adidas on, Robbie. Don't you worry, pal. Look, where is she? There she is. Don't worry, mate. There's always a bit of Adidas on somewhere. Hey guys, how are we? Pat Bot's in, Liverpool fans in, Sam is in, Scotty, Robbie, the Revenite, Luke, Alpha G, RH8. How are we guys? How are we? It's been very quiet over the past couple of days. Not really much for us to get our teeth stuck into. The channel's been quite quiet as well, but thankfully it hasn't just been our channel. Everybody's channel seems a little bit quiet. I have a bullshit rumour for you. You know the way I do like to pull out an odd bullshit rumour from time to time. Well, my bullshit rumour of this week, once again, comes from our friends at Don Ballon. And once again, it's around one of our forwards. And once again, it's to do with a Spanish team. Well, apparently, Real Madrid have suddenly realised that they're shit and decided that they need to go out and get some new forwards in. And Don Ballon, in their infinite wisdom, suggests that Real Madrid are toying around with the idea of buying Roberto Firmino. But it's okay, because Liverpool only want £72 million for him. So there you go. Where to start with that one? Firstly, £72 million doesn't buy you Bobby Firmino's fucking eye. After that, we're not selling them. And thirdly, we don't like Real Madrid. So Don Ballon have linked everybody, all of our forwards I think in the last 2 months to Real Madrid. Every single one of them. Salah, Mane, Firmino, they've all been linked and all for ridiculous amounts of money. There you go. That's my bullshit transfer rumour of the day. Now, I want to start off tonight's stream, guys, by just addressing something that came up in the comment section the other day, and that is about the language that is used on the stream. I'm fully aware, and I appreciate sincerely, that people don't like language at times, and it's not for everybody. All I can say, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, is my language is never intended to intentionally offend anybody. But at the end of the day, this is a football fans forum. I'm a passionate guy. I express myself with language at times. If that does offend anybody, I do apologise, but I have to be clear. It will never change. I can't change. I won't change. It's who I am, and I can't come on here and be who I amn't. So if it isn't for you, I get it, and I apologise. And if I've offended you along the way, I apologise. But I am who I am, and I'm trying to be honest on here. So look, as I said, there will be language on the stream. There will be language on every stream that we do. So I apologise for the offense, but I'm just trying to be upfront and honest and get people, get people away that might feel it's not for them, or they might have kids watching or anything like that, because I understand it isn't for everybody. Now, I'm also going to promise you guys that there will be no more interacting with trolls whatsoever. I'm going to pass by them. I'm going to dedicate all of my time to reading out your wonderful comments because you deserve them. I think I'll treat myself occasionally to a little troll interaction on watch-alongs. Other than that, I'm just going to come on and talk to you guys. Now, as you guys know, the game against Brighton at the weekend is a 3 PM kickoff Saturday, which won't be shown in the UK. But thankfully, things are a little bit different here in Ireland. Sky can show one 3 PM game every Saturday, and this weekend they've chosen to show Brighton versus Liverpool. So I will be able to do a watch along. It will be on Sky TV here in Ireland, so I will be up to date and everything with it. So brilliant. I'm delighted for that one. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be great to get the Reds back in league action. The FA Cup, I don't even want to hear the name FA Cup anymore. I feel like I've talked about it too much. I feel like we've given it too much focus. It's all about the league for the Reds. It's all about getting back and protecting this league at the top of the table. And let's see how everybody is feeling. Let's get through your comments. Evening Craig, hope you're well, said Paul Dunning. I'm very well, thank you Paul. I hope you're the same. Ella said, hey Craig, not able to watch all week on earlies. Don't you worry, Ella. Look, you're working, that's a good thing, mate. I hope you're okay. Thank you for popping in. Always a pleasure to chat with you. But never any need to apologise, Ella. We appreciate you coming in. But we don't have any what's the word I'm looking for here? Expectations of any of our subscribers. We appreciate any time you guys give us. Hey Craig, love the all new setup. Won't be on tonight, just thought I'd say hello. How was your day? Tom, it was okay, thank you mate. Nice, quiet, peaceful, and again a lot of it spent playing with Lucas. He got his Hot Wheels out today. The floor was covered in them. We were counting them for hours. Brian Morrissey, how are you, sir? Great to have you in. Real Madrid want Salah. They want everybody, Joe, at this point, don't they? They want Salah, they want Firmino, they want Mane. Because of the crap at this moment in time, mate. Real Madrid, they're just terrible. I don't know what is going on there. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we're here to talk about Liverpool. So who has some Liverpool topics you want to talk about? Did you hear the Dortmund CEO said Werner has settled his future already and it's not with them? There was also something came out today, Robbie, that I think it came out from Bild that said that Timo Werner has turned down a move to Bayern Munich, which is also very interesting. So if the Dortmund CEO has come out and said Werner isn't going there, and the news is coming out of Germany from Bild that he isn't going to Bayern Munich, then is it Liverpool? I hope so. I'm sure you guys hope so as well. There'd also been links to Spurs, but as I keep saying, I think we can outmuscle Spurs when it comes to transfers. If we're going in for the same player, with their stadium issues and all, I think we'd probably be able to outmuscle them. So it's looking good on the Timo Werner front. You never want to count your chickens until they're hatched, or your eggs, or whatever you're counting, and whatever's hatching. Just don't count anything. No counting. Yeah, look, the Timo Werner thing, I'm hoping, like all you guys, I'm hoping. Some more comments. MUFG Gamer is in again. How are you, sir? Great to have you in. Okay, some more comments. This might be a shorter stream tonight, by the way, guys, because look, there's less people in, so it's going to be quieter. We can get through more comments, and yeah, there's not too much for us to talk about, really. No, it isn't BS, mate. City really did win 9-0. Craig, did you just make up a word? Probably, Kyle. I often do. Noises just come out of my mouth, mate, and I'm convincing myself that everything makes perfect sense. I want a defender to come to Liverpool, said Tyler. Kirby said, hello, Mr. Worldwide, which is me. I'm the Irish Pitbull now, apparently. So yeah, Mr. Worldwide is fine, thank you. I refer to myself in the third person now. Myself and Connor have been trying to do that back and forth all day, and God, it sounds douchey. Can you talk me through the game on Saturday as I'm in Scotland? Absolutely, pal. 2:30 I'll be starting coverage of the watch along on Saturday. I'm doing very well, thank you, Jersey boy. I hope you're the same. I'd rather have Gini and VVD at centre back and keep Fabinho at central midfield. He's too important to take him out of that midfield role. There's two ways of looking at that one, Kieran. Sometimes when people are playing in the central defensive role for Liverpool, if you look back at Jimmy Milner in particular, at times they're often splitting the centre backs anyway, pal. So they're playing a very, very deep role. So sometimes Fabinho will be able to do some of that work from centre back. But I get where you're coming from. And thankfully it seems like we'll only have to make do for one game, and then we'll at least have Joel Matip back, possibly even have Joe Gomez back. Craig, since our FA Cup exit we play 5 in a month and City will play 9, which is fucking great from our point of view. The more games they get in their legs, the better. You got your colour back. Yeah, I was fucking around with the settings a little bit. Finally look like a normal human being, and I don't look like Casper the unfriendly ghost. Who would you have at centre back with VVD on Saturday? Robbie, I'd probably go against our friend from a couple of seconds ago, Kieran, and I'd probably go with Fabinho. I'd go with Fabinho and VVD, and then I'd go midfield ahead of them of Henderson, Gini, and Keita, probably. Yeah, Keita. I think Keita. Nice background, said Luke. Thank you. We're playing around with some new ones. We're trying to find one that we're really happy and that we'll settle on. And until that day, we'll just keep firing through them until we can find some. Good evening from Philadelphia. How are you, sir? Great to have you in. Is it mine? Excuse me if I mispronounce your name. I hope that's close to it being right. But anyway, welcome, mate. It's always great to have you in. Perspective required on the 9-0. Look, with regards to that 9-0, I mean, look, fair play to them. Absolutely. I'm not going to piss all over their 9-0 or anything like that. Well done. They went out, they played what was in front of them, they played them off the park, they won 9-0. Congratulations to Manchester City, that puts them into the final of the Cup. They scored one goal for everybody inside the stadium, so congratulations to Manchester City on that one. And they played really well, nobody can take that away from them. But it doesn't have any relevance whatsoever on the league campaign, and that's all we need to focus on. If they can win the League Cup, great, fair fucks to them. If they can win the FA Cup, fair fucks to them. All we're concerned right now about is that 4-point gap at the top of the Premier League that we need to keep there. We're going to the Amex to play a difficult enough game. We think it's quite difficult. The bookies seem to look at it completely different. They have, I think, 6-1 for Brighton to win, and they're the home team. So I'm very confident going into this game. I have to say, I'm expecting a reaction from the guys. I'm sure you are as well. And I don't care how we come out of it. I don't care if we come out of it 2-1 and people are wondering about it not being the same Liverpool. I don't give a shit. I want the points on the board, and that's all I'm concerned about. Performances would be great, but I'd rather have a bad performance with 3 points than a great performance and a draw. So again, that's just my humble take on things. Who do you think will get relegated? Oh, that's a tough one. Huddersfield, they look doomed. I hope Fulham don't go down. I have to say, I have a bit of a soft spot for Fulham. I hope they don't go down. Newcastle as well, I hope they don't go down. Oh, it's a tough one. Bar Huddersfield, I can't nail anybody at this moment in time. It's so tough down there. Let me have a quick look at the league table just to remind myself exactly how tight it is at the bottom. Bear with me 2 seconds. Right, here we go. Saturday, league table. Right, there we go. Huddersfield, Fulham, Southampton, Cardiff. Oh God, do you know what? Looking at that league table, it's really hard to say. Huddersfield look gone. I'm gonna go Huddersfield, Cardiff, and Burnley. Although Huddersfield, Cardiff, and either Southampton or Burnley. I don't know. Other than that, it's so difficult to guess, mate. It's so difficult to guess. Love to know who you think, though. Again, and all of you guys, I'd love to know who you think is going to go down. Evening, Craig. What have we got here? Evening, Craig. We're so close to signing Bruno Fernandes. Seen him with the World Cup. Yeah, I'd seen a link there. I wouldn't say we're so close. 40 million is the number that seems to be going around for the Sporting Lisbon midfielder Bruno Fernandes. Everton have been linked to him as well, interestingly enough. And he's £100 million buyout clause in his contract. And thankfully they're not looking for that, because let's be fair, nobody's going to pay it. But the player you are talking about has certainly been linked to the Reds. 40 million is the number that people are mentioning. I'm always nervous when Everton are linked to the same player as we are. It just rings alarm bells in my head about the quality of the player. I don't know. I'd love to know your guys' take on Bruno Fernandes. Seen him at the World Cup, as you said yourself, mate, but I've got to be honest, I don't watch much of Sporting Lisbon, so I'd be lying if I said I know too much about him, other than he's probably technically proficient, as most Portuguese players are. Yeah, other than that, I don't know, but I trust the manager. If he wants him, I trust him. 40 million. Do you know what? 40 million for him, where you could have got Fekir for 8 or 10 more. I don't know. It's a tough call. Bartra would be a good signing for us, said Alex Gomez. All the noises I'm hearing from Klopp, can't see anything happen in January, said Anthony Peters. And Stevie Richard says, come on Timo, sign for the Reds. I hope he does. I really do. That would do me fine this window. Just to hear that Timo Werner has a contract agreed for the summer. That would do me fine. And then I'd immediately start worrying about his form for the rest of the season. Just like what happened with Naby Keita. And I'm wondering, I'm still, like we spoke about it yesterday, but I'm still wondering a bit today, is the form he carried at the end of last season for Leipzig, is that what he carried into his Liverpool career? Is he struggling to get that mindset back, that hunger, that killer instinct back that he had? Low Fat said, new UEFA rule to scrap cup tie players, so if you buy a player from a team you feel in the Champions League, he can play for his new club in the same competition. I just read that earlier on myself, buddy, and I think they were using Aubameyang as an example, or Mkhitaryan as an example from last season, which is common sense, isn't it? Especially with the amount of money clubs like Liverpool, City, United, Arsenal are paying for players these days. I think it's a common sense rule myself, mate, but of course love to know your opinion. You ban my other account for no reason. You do know, mate, that sometimes it's not me that does the banning. Sometimes it's one of the mods in the channel. Now, if your account is banned, then clearly one of us had done it. But I don't know what your other account name is, pal, nor do I know why it was banned. So if you want me to have a look and get to the bottom of it, always happy to do so. Just let me know what your name was, your other account name, and I promise you we'll look into it. Okay, where else have we got? Just want to get back up to that gentleman's comment. Yeah, there you go. Bravo Window Cleaner. Please just let me know your other account name, pal, and I'll have a look into it. Since Milner can play as a right back, left back, he might be considered as a centre back. Apparently, is it Fathul Man? Or Fathul Iman, excuse me, Fathul Iman. Jurgen Klopp was looking at using Jordan Henderson for the last game, apparently. I'm sure I read that. Was it in the Echo or on Sky? Until Henderson picked up a knock, he was looking at using Henderson as a centre back, and that really shocked me, mate. I wasn't expecting that. But you're right, Jimmy Milner could probably play as a centre back. Nat Phillips, where's Nat Phillips? Is he injured? I'm a little bit confused here because I know one of Nat Phillips and Connor Masterson was just coming back from an injury, and then I know the other one had picked up an injury, and I can't remember which one it is. Which one is which? City's going to chase us down. They can't do anything if we keep winning though, Joel. That's the thing. They can chase and chase and chase, but Liverpool have to drop points in order for their chase to work. And as people have reminded us, Joel, they're going to have a lot more games than us now. They've got a big squad. They're probably able to cope. But the mental energy that's going to be needed when they get to the Champions League, and to have a chase down in the league and for the Cups, don't worry, mate. I think we're going to be okay. I honestly think we're going to be okay. They're a fantastic squad and a fantastic team. But just believe in our boys and don't throw in the towel just yet. Do you think we'll sign Mats Hummels? No, I don't. I don't see Bayern Munich loaning us a player when we're up against them in the Champions League. It would just be silly from their point of view. Any new transfer news? No, not really, mate. Other than the Bruno Fernandes thing we spoke about earlier on, not really too much with regards to incomings. Spoke a little bit about Timo Werner turning down Bayern Munich, and somebody else said that it's not going to be Dortmund that he goes to either, so let's wait and see. There's been links of Camacho going to Sporting Lisbon on loan. Now, Camacho started his youth career with Sporting Lisbon before he moved to Manchester City and then on to Liverpool, so the rumours linking him back to a loan move to Sporting Lisbon makes some sense. I doubt we're going to do it now, not after moving on Nathaniel Klein and us being short for right backs. You think he'd keep Camacho in there for the rest of the season, but maybe in the summer that might happen. Was it Robbie missed it? I think it's going to apply this January transfer window. I'm not sure. Maybe I've missed something there, low fat mate. I'm not sure what you meant. Hopefully Burnley and Cardiff can't stand their managers, said Tony Montala. Cardiff, Huddersfield and United for Connor. Here's a stat for you, for Arsenal fans. Liverpool have been flopped twice when at Christmas, but after 21 games not winning the league, a certain team has the same record. Look, we all know Liverpool are the only team that's been top twice at Christmas and not gone on to win the league. Yeah, we know it. Nothing we can do about it. We're top this year. Let's see how we get on. What do points make? Points make prizes, Anthony. What's your prediction on how different is United when we play them at Old Trafford? Very different game. I mean, I'm expecting a much better Manchester United team. Predictions, it's a bit early to make a prediction. I mean, we're only in January and that game's in March, so let's wait a little bit closer, see who's fit, who's available. But it's definitely going to be a tougher game than the one that we had earlier on in the season. Well, it's not even that long ago now. It's going to be a tougher game anyway. The biggest defeat in the League Cup was Liverpool beating Fulham 10-0 in 1986. They nearly beat that record. True Morgan, his team for Brighton would be Alisson, Trent, VVD, Fabinho, Robbo, Gini, Keita, Shaqiri, Bobby, Mane and Salah. And he'd gone for a 4-2-3-1. Brian Morrissey reckons Huddersfield, Burnley and Cardiff are going down. Graham Holmes reckons Fulham. United, Huddersfield and Cardiff for Ronnie Galloway. John Hamilton, how are you, sir? Thank you for joining us. Bang on about points. We need to get back to winning ways. Is it wrong for me to love Spurs but be a die-hard Liverpool fan? Mate, I'm not telling you what's right or wrong. Only you can make that decision. Often football fans are fond of other teams. If you use the word love, buddy, that's up to you. I can't tell you what's right and wrong. You're a Liverpool fan. You're on here talking to us about Liverpool. That's all I'm going to judge you on, buddy. Whatever else you do in your life is your own business, and you won't be getting mocked by me for anything. Scotty, I think I've already answered that one, buddy. About the commentary will be on from 2:30 on Saturday. We don't need him, in my opinion. Midfield is cool for now. Sporting are trying to bring in the dollars. Yeah, that's true. They probably are trying to. In the summer, their club was. They were having to do deals left, right, and centre because players were just threatening to walk out, and they were having to let these players go and then go back to the clubs that they joined and basically agree compensation. Give Matip to Wolves and bring Connor Cody back. Fabinho looked better at centre back than Lovren, said O-Dog. Okay, what else have we got? Fulham wanted Matip at one point, said Kieran. Okay, some more comments. Your account was it's Bravo _ shooter 213. Connor, can you check out that account, buddy, and see if it was banned perhaps, and we'll try and figure out who banned it and why it was banned, and we'll go from there, mate. So Scotty said the account, if it's that one, was banned for harassment. Can anybody remember specifically why? Because I want to be fair to this guy. If he was banned for a reason, then that's okay. And we'll ban his new account if he was banned for a reason. If he wasn't, or if it was for something that was a bit over the top, then of course we're happy to revisit it, mate. Fabinho played decent at centre back against Wolves, said Adam Parks. I've been trying to get 2 tickets for a home game, more chance of winning the lottery. I mean, I guess I've seen a ticket for £895 each for the Bayern Munich game. That's fucking shocking, Ronnie, isn't it? That is absolutely shocking, pal. Myself and Connor are in the same boat, buddy. We've been trying to get a ticket for a game this year. And bear in mind, I usually get to 4 or 5 a year. Last year was my worst year, getting over 4 times. But, yeah, this year I can't get a sniff, buddy, like you. And I'm not paying the silly money. Because why would I? I'd rather pay it and bring my family on a holiday than waste money going to games. I mean, I'm happy to pay a little bit. Of course, I understand people sometimes want to make a few quid, but some of the prices that you're talking about there, that's absolutely scandalous stuff. That's fucking 2 weeks in Mexico money right there. And I'm talking all inclusive here. That's silly stuff, isn't it? I don't blame you for not paying it. Fabinho looked better at centre back than Lovren, said O-Dog. But no worries with Fabinho at centre back for more than 1 game, said Brian Morrissey. No, I definitely don't want to take Phil Jones, Jack. Definitely don't want Phil Jones. The last time Guardiola chased a title, he lost. I hope that will happen again. He's never won a title. I mean, people have talked about us choking, being, you know, top of the league twice Christmas and losing. Pep Guardiola has never won a title that he hasn't been top of at Christmas, so you can flip it and look at it that way as well. But at the end of the day, nothing from the past is that relevant. Different clubs, different managers, different times. We are here where we are now. 2 fantastic squads, 2 great teams playing great football. May the best team win. That is honestly all I can say with this title race. I'd love to sit here and categorically say that we're going to win it, but I'd be a fool. I believe we'll win it. I believe City will fall off because of the sheer demand that's going to be on them this year. But at the end of the day, whoever wins it deserves to win it. Gabriel Adams said, can't wait for Brighton. You can have Mangala from us if you want. I'll pass. Man City Alfie, mate. I will pass on that one. Did you hear PSG just got dumped out of the cup by a team I've never heard of? No, I'd seen it was 1-1 though. I seen it was 1-1. Did they lose it on penalties or something? Let me just have a look at that. That's fucking hilarious. That is absolutely nuts. Let me just check the scores here. French Cup. Oh, they lost 2-1. Madness. A penalty in the 81st minute against Guingamp and a penalty in the 90th minute. Now, I've heard of Guingamp, by the way. They're a top tier side in France, but that is hilarious. That's disgusting for them. For a squad like theirs to get dumped out at home. That's mad. Absolute madness. We put the last against behind us. Remember, we're tops at Stephen Richards. Hummels to LFC has been something that was muted, Mohammed, over the past 24 hours. I think it started in Germany. Actually, I think it started with that Aga Fjortoft. Is that his name? The guy who used to play in the Premier League, maybe with Southampton. Thorgan Fjortoft, I think that's his name. He was linking Hummels with Liverpool. I don't know if there was anything concrete in it. I really don't think we should, or we're going to buy anyone, said Ebony Smith. I don't think we are either, Ebony. It's and can you argue against it, really? I know people want to bring in a defender because they believe we're short, and I completely understand why. But we're only short for a week or two. And by the time a defender comes in, gets settled, you're days away then from Matip coming back and perhaps Joe Gomez coming back. And as somebody said earlier on, we don't know the likes of Nat Phillips and stuff, how far away he might be. It'd be nice if we win the league, Craig, because there's a space on the right made for it. There's a space on the right made for it. I don't know. Are you talking about the... Yes. Definitely. It would definitely be nice if you win the league, and there's definitely space for the trophy cabinet. We'll build an extension if we have to. Must win at the weekend and hope Wolves do something. Again, we don't need to hope for another team to do anything. That's the beauty of this. All we have to do is win our games, and we don't have to hope for anyone else to do anything. If it happens, brilliant bonus. But at the end of the day, City and Spurs need to do the hoping, because for us, we're in the box seat. We've got the points on the board. We've got the 4-point gap. It's up to us now to go on and protect it. Manchester City have played us twice. Nothing else they can do to us right now. It's up to us. If we drop points, it's our fault, and our fault only. So relax, settle in. It's going to be a long season. Enjoy the ride. We're top at the minute. That's good enough for me. What should be our title winning song? It's a bit early, but I don't know. I'm sure there are people working on a belter right now, because we know Liverpool fans are amazing when it comes to song titles. FSG are too stingy. Nah, that's bollocks. There's no way FSG are too stingy, mate. I thought we got rid of all this nonsense around FSG. They've ponied up, and they've ponied up anything the manager's asked for. If Klopp wants a player right now, I can promise you that he will get a player. If we don't sign a player now, it's not because of FSG, it's because Klopp looked at the squad and decided that he's happy. Klopp wouldn't have moved on Nathaniel Klein if he wasn't happy. There was no pressure there from the owners. Klopp wouldn't have moved on Dominic Solanke. There was no pressure there from the owners. They were moved on because Klopp might have a plan in mind with what he wants to do for the summer. He's trying to free up space. He's trying to get a space ready for Ryan Brewster. The FSG stuff, it just isn't true anymore, mate. I'm sorry. Connor Cody has turned into a fine defender. He has, and I'm so happy for the guy. For him to not make it at Liverpool and to go down through the divisions, go to Wolves, captain the team, bring them into the Premier League. It's a great story for him. Liverpool will sack Klopp next season. No, he won't. Not a hope of that happening. Again, I don't know, Jim, if you're a Liverpool fan or if you're an opposition fan coming in to have a laugh and a troll, mate, but it's not going to happen. He's going to win the league this year. He's going to be fucking knighted in Liverpool next year. He's going to be fucking immortalised when he lifts the champion or the Premier League trophy this season. So there's no way he's getting sacked. It's wishful thinking, and I love this from opposition fans. They're hoping that he fucked off because he's the best thing to ever happen to our club. Well, not ever. That's wrong. That's absolutely wrong, Craig. He's the best thing to happen to our club in a very long time, and opposition fans are absolutely fucking hoping that he gets the boot, but it ain't happening. It ain't happening one bit. We'll have 3 injured centre backs fit in a couple of weeks. Has anybody heard an update on Degsy? I haven't seen anything on Lovren. Has it been confirmed how long he's out for or anything like that? Ponton Soccer said, stop being worried about history. If you're going to worry, then focus on this season. Exactly. I fully agree with that one. All we can do is look after our own games right now. Same as Klopp has been saying when we were behind in the league, same as been saying all the way through, just look after our own games. Whatever happens outside of our games, we're not in control of. We can't have any influence on it. We can win our games, put pressure on other teams who are playing after us, and vice versa. We can be put under pressure by City perhaps if they get 3 points on the board before we play. After that, there's nothing we can do. What happened on Twitter, or is it just general drivel that takes a break? Oh, no, nobody said anything to me on Twitter, Brian. I just, from time to time, I find myself looking at my phone and getting angry, and I just thought, you know what, I need a break. I need a few days away from Twitter just to be with sane people and be with rational people and not be getting angry at comments I don't agree with and stuff like that. And sometimes I just need that break of a few days, mate. It's not because of anything anyone did. Nice to see you again, said Ryan. Nice to see you, pal. Thank you for coming in. Guys, if you're watching and you haven't yet subscribed but you like the channel, please do hit that subscribe button, and of course drop a like on the stream. How far is Brewster away from being fit? Not very. I think he's back quite soon. I would say, at a guess now, of course, don't hold me to this, I'd say the start of February you might see him. Ciao, I've got to take a friend to the bus. Rod, safe trip mate, I hope he gets off okay. Klopp shouldn't be sacked, nor will he be sacked. Don't worry about that, old dog buddy. Lovren's out until February. Thank you, Cameron. Appreciate that, mate. Expect a nervous start against Brighton. Why? What have we got to be nervous about? I don't get this. We lost to Manchester City in Manchester. Defending champions, we lost 2-1. Our reserves lost a game against Wolves that has no relevance whatsoever on the league team nor the league form. So we've lost one game, realistically, that matters. Well, I don't mean to disrespect the FA Cup, but one game with our first 11 and their heads are falling off. Relax, it's all grand. We lost to probably the best team in the fucking league, and I don't see any problem with that. Away as well. That's the hardest game of the season and it's done and dusted. Look, I might look at things a little bit differently, but for me, I'm still riding high on a wave of optimism because I fully think this team are capable. And I look at these guys and I see determined winners, leaders. I just see something I haven't seen in a Liverpool team for a very, very long time. All I can say is we're lucky Van Dijk is not injured. Well, look, none of us can agree or can disagree with you on that. Sorry. If Van Dijk was injured, yes, then maybe I'd start having some alarm bells going off in my head. Certainly I'd be a lot more worried than I am now. If Klopp somehow doesn't win the Premier League, he lost the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, how long would be questions about until Klopp? It's progression, I suppose, in my eyes, mate, and I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for myself, Mr. Lazy Demonetization. For me, I just want to see progression every year. And last year we just about got fourth. Yes, we got to a Champions League final and that was brilliant. And we lost in the Europa League final, we lost in the Cup final as well. So every year I just want to see progression, and I suppose it depends how you gauge progression. For me, it's the league this year. We've pulled in Manchester City. We've really got our points up from last season, and that's progression. We're still in Europe, so to beat what we did last year, we're going to have to go all the way and win it. So that's going to be difficult to do. But it's just about progression. So if we finish first this year, but as you're saying, if we didn't win the league, so we finish second, it's going to be tough to take. But in my mind, it would take an entire season of us not winning anything else, and falling back down to third or fourth. It would take a lot for me to start questioning Jurgen Klopp. It really would, because I'm looking at things like transfers, the squad that he had when he came in, where the club was when he came in, the fact that we're now, Champions League every year pretty much. A lot has happened since he came in. So yes, you can judge him on the highest standards, which he's now starting to be judged at because he's built himself a squad that deserves to be judged with the very best. So if he doesn't win something in the next couple of years, questions might have to be asked. Whether that's about him being sacked or not, you can't really say that right now. You have to see how things go. But for me, it would take an awful lot for that man to get sacked. An awful lot. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure other people have various opinions. Injury update. Lovren timeline. Not ready for the weekend. Matip on course for Crystal Palace, and Gomez most realistically only February. Gomez will be back before February from what I can gauge. Matip not this weekend, but as you said, on course for Crystal Palace. So yeah, that pretty much got cool, mate. That's pretty much on the money. I can see us going for the kill on Saturday and making a big statement, putting a bit more pressure back on City. People are talking about sacking Klopp, sort your head out. The man's turned our club around, said Liam Granby. Time crisis. Who should step his game up? Keita, without a shadow of a doubt. Love the guy, but he does need to start putting in a better performance. And I'm not saying he needs to hit the levels that he was at Leipzig right away, but he does need to start showing some signs of progression. Other than that, I think Firmino has stepped his game up. I don't think too many. I think everybody's at a pretty high level as it is. So for me, maybe now be Keita. Maybe a little bit more from Jordan Henderson as well, actually, just a little bit more. The obsession with other clubs' fans with our club is unbelievable. They're more bothered with how we're doing than their own club are doing. How many years do you think Klopp will stay at Liverpool? I would say 3 more, maybe 3 more. It depends though. It depends if we start winning stuff. Maybe we get a bit complacent. Football can change so quickly. We can become so arrogant as fans, and we can become very forgetful of where we were, and everything is now. So it's tough to say, mate. I hope he's here. I hope he sees out his deal, if I'm being honest. I think his deal has 4 or 5 more years left on it. Team is starting to look a tad tired, perhaps, but we're at the stage now where we have a full week between every game, Liam. So we're going to get rest. Our boys are going to get a lot more rest. Klopp is going to get more time to work with them. And I see this benefiting us as the season goes on. Now, nobody wants to be out of cup competitions intentionally. Of course, you want your captain to be lifting a trophy at the end of the season, but where we are, yeah, I think we'll be okay, mate. I don't think fatigue is going to really play a part of us this year. We're going to have a warm weather training camp, I think, as well in January. Nice to see you as well, Brandon. Craig only dropping back in, see what the latest news for transfers in. No problem, buddy. Definitely love or misses Saturday, but maybe back for Crystal Palace. Would be entertained. We've got 2 tough draws in both cups. We have, to be fair, we've had a lot of Premier League teams drawing in cup competitions, but that is the luck of the draw. We can't really complain about it. It is what it is. Did you hear about the loan approach for Tarkowski? No. I'd be amazed if they'd entertain. You're talking about a team here who are fighting relegation. It would be absolutely ludicrous for Burnley to loan out their best defender when they're fighting relegation. It just wouldn't make any sense. Craig, do you think 3 at the back would be okay against Brighton? Well, because we only have 3 defenders, probably. Is that where you're going at? Blue Vadoom said 213 watching, only 44 likes. So people, look, if you are watching, can you please drop a like on the stream if you get a chance? That would be super. And of course, if you haven't yet subscribed, make that number roll across there in the corner, and please do hit that subscribe button. Evening, Craig. Weather transfer speculation. We all know Klopp will not buy in this window. It's so frustrating that we can do some business. We'd all like somebody to come in, maybe even if it's just a psychological boost, Randy, mate, just to push things along. But I also understand people who think that if you brought somebody in, it might have a negative effect. I don't know what to say, pal. I'm really relaxed when it comes to us. I'm actually happy with where we are. No, I'm not happy we're out of the FA Cup, of course. I don't really give a shit, but I'm not happy. But I am very happy with where we are in the league. And I go back to the Everton game. Just remember where we were 88 minutes gone in that Everton game. People saying, give Man City the title. Give Man City the title. We're fucked. Origi scores. City lose 2. We go to the Etihad and lose, which is something that was entirely plausible at any point. And we're still 4 points clear. What happens if we win on Saturday against Brighton? That's another game knocked off. And we're still a little bit closer. And we still have a 4-point gap. I just relax about it and just try and take one game at a time and don't overreact to anything. If we go and beat Brighton 5-0, don't overreact to it. If we go and beat Brighton 2-1, don't overreact to it. If we go and draw, look, yeah, it's getting towards squeaky fucking bum time. But while we have that cushion, that 4-point gap, I'm relaxed. I'm watching on a laptop for the first time. Always use the smartphone. Chat is much easier on the phone than it is on this. I don't know, I've never used a phone. I'd be the opposite. I'd always use a laptop. You got United away straight after Bayern. It's easy 3 points there, mate, isn't it? I mean, to be fair, it's only United. It'd be grand. Yeah, look, I mean, that's a tough game. That's our biggest away game, I think, that we have left. Everton they're Everton. I mean, they're irrelevant. Other than that, we've got Spurs at home, Chelsea at home. Do we have to play? Yeah, Spurs at home, Chelsea at home, and then we've got United away. So it's just one of maybe 3 or 4 tough games left. So I'm still confident, mate. I don't know what else to say. I'm really confident. Great win for City. Just a shame there was no one there to see it, said Steve. Yeah, look, where do you go on that one? I mean, we could sit here and tear them apart. Then we have the understanding that yes, there's a lot of games. It's a lot of money for fans to go and see it. I don't know where to go with the attendance thing. At the end of the day, it was a semi-final of a cup, and it looked like at least half the stadium was empty, possibly more. I don't know what the attendance was. I'm just going off pictures that I've seen. It's disappointing. It is disappointing for the competition as well. It's disappointing, but at the end of the day, the players can only go out there and play the team that's in front of them, in front of the crowd that's there, and the players went and did their job fantastically well for City tonight. So I don't want to be petty here and go and have a dig at their fans. I had a little knock earlier on when I said a goal for everyone in the stadium, but look, I don't know what to say. I don't want to get into economic circumstances because I don't believe that that's the reason behind it. Old Trafford, they're pretty much full pretty full for most of their games. That's in the same city. Is it to do with the fan base? Is it big enough? I don't know. I can't answer these questions. Probably best to ask a Man City fan. They'd have much better answers for this than me. Alex Gomez said, I'm going to play Don't Stop Believing by Journey when we win the league. Nice. That seems like a fitting song. That was the one that ended The Soprano. So yeah, that's a pretty good song. I can see Burton pulling that back now. So Paul Turner. That's nailed on. 10-0 from the home leg. It's nailed on. United play PSG after the Liverpool game. There you go. How optimistic Craig. I love how optimistic Craig is. Cheers, man, up the Reds. My pleasure, Ricky. I just don't see any point not to be. We've shown nothing to suggest that we aren't going to carry on the way we've been. I'm not one that overreacts to a defeat against the champions and a cup defeat against a good team when we played pretty much a reserve side, and both games could have been decided by the ball striking a post going either way. It just seems like an overreaction to start worrying. City have to shift thinking after battering Burton. Wolves might catch them off guard. Again though, I hope, like everybody else, that City drop points, but once we keep knocking off our wins, that's all we can really worry about. Anything else is just a Brucey bonus. I think Klopp going to end up like Rafa. He's going to love going. He's growing to love the city. Excuse me, I ruined your comment. Let's start that again, Liam. I think Klopp's going to end up like Rafa. He's grown to love the city and the club, and he's going to be there for a long time. Bravo Shooter said on main account now. Thanks, lads. No problem, mate. I mean, we always try to be fair on here. If something happened for a reason or somebody apologises and comes back in or anything like that, we're usually happy to give people a second chance, pal, because we all have off days. I know I say things that I regret a lot of the time that I don't mean. So great to have you in, mate, and you know, whatever it was, let's just put it behind us and just move on. No sad faces. We have the advantage. 4 points, said Lambeg Loyalist. How are you, pal? Haven't seen you in a while. Great to have you in. That question about Everton winning the league is gonna blow Craig's mind. Could be years before he can answer it. Where was that one? Somebody actually asked about the Ev winning the league. Hang on a second. Where is it? Up the motherfucking Reds and fuck City, said Stephen Richards. Everton away after United. Easy 6 points. What do people in the chat think about Everton's new stadium? In a few years they're going to want to win the Premier League when they move to it. If they move to it, would be the first thing I'd say. Once you hear the phrase "a spade in the ground," which is what one of the Everton hierarchy came out with yesterday, we know when we hear the phrase "a spade in the ground" what that means. Look, Everton can't fund this fucking stadium yet, and I don't know the ins and outs of it. I think the city are lending them money to it or something. I don't know, but it's embarrassing as fuck that they want a new stadium and they can't afford it. That's all I know, and it's not up to me to make decisions on Everton, but they ain't going to win fuck all anytime soon. They really aren't. And their fans, this fucking Bramley apple pie in the Sky Stadium is just, it's hilarious. Let's just wait and see what happens. Oh, you did cheer me up there though, mate. Everton going to win the Premier League, or looking towards winning the Premier League. God bless them. Would you scrap the EFL Cup in general? We were talking about this yesterday, actually. Why, Connor? Would it be worth just turning? And this has got nothing to do with us going out, by the way. I mean, we went out fair enough, fair dues. But would it be worth, like other countries, only having one domestic cup? I think Germany, Spain, and Italy, I think, all just have one domestic cup. I think the Spanish one is always played over 2 legs as well, if memory serves me correct. But it's definitely a conversation to have. But at the end of the day, I also understand people that say, if you're not in Europe, there's only 2 competitions that you can play for every year. 2 cup competitions outside of the league. So it's tough, and I can understand arguments for every side of it. And as much as I'd like to say yes, because it may benefit the big teams, it's not just about the big teams. You have to think of every club in every division and the way football league is structured, and be fair to everybody and not just look after the big boys all the time. I also don't like what I was hearing about Guardiola shiting on about the B teams. Yeah, he was saying about the B teams and that they B teams in Spain and stuff like that. Well, look, Real Madrid are still fucking going out and buying the biggest names in the world, and they're still loaning out their players from their B teams to other teams and buying them back. So has this B League or B teams been a success for Bayern Munich? We know at La Masia and Real Madrid, or at Barcelona, they brought 2 players in the past, but are they doing that so much now? I don't know. I don't know if this B team argument holds much water, because, as I said, Madrid are still moving on a shit ton of their players and buying them back then a few years later, and having a B team hasn't really changed that. That's what's happening now in England and stuff with clubs like Chelsea, Manchester City perhaps, maybe Liverpool to an extent. So I don't know around that whole argument about B teams and reducing the cups. I always want to look after or look towards the little guy as well, because there's enough money in the Premier League. I mean, we're fucking spoiled as top of the Premier League clubs. There are clubs down the bottom, clubs in the Championship, and clubs that a cup run could be the difference. I mean, a cup run, an EFL cup run, an FA cup run could be the difference between survival and going out of business, or buying a player or not buying a player for a lower league club. So again, it's a tough question. If that was us tonight, that would have been sold out. Fans like you and I would have gone, Craig, said Stephen. Yes, not having a dig at City, but yes, it would have been sold out for exactly the reasons you said, Stephen, because people like me and you, or the gentleman from earlier on that struggled to get tickets, might have been able to lay our hands on tickets for that one, and we would have been only too happy to have gone over, and local kids as well would have loved to have gone to it. But yeah, it would, if it wasn't sold out, mate, it would have been very fucking close to being sold out. Rick Harrison said, all these non-opposition fans are more interested in us rather than their own club. Thing is, we've played the best in the Premier League all season and don't see where they think we're going to fuck up. Liam Granby says, what's your pick for the top 4 of the season, Craig? Mine is us, City, Tottenham and Chelsea. Probably the same as you, Liam. The same as you, except I'd rather Arsenal pip Chelsea because I don't like Chelsea, but I think realistically you've probably got that one right, pal. How good are City looking? Got a real fight on our hands. They're a fantastic team. I mean, I can't sit on here and say otherwise, but you know what? We're not too bad either. And I would flip that and say City have a fight on their hands, because they're the ones that have to claw back 4 points to defend their title. We're the ones that I won't say we're underdogs, but you know, we've done very well to close that points gap from last year, and we're doing okay. Lambeg Loyalist said we have weekly first game advantage. They have to play catch up. Thank you very much for the super chat, pal. Yeah, they do. You're right. And you know, it can make a difference, particularly when you get towards the end of the season in the games like this. And we also have a full 7 days, between games. I mean, I can't tell you how important I think that is for Klopp, to get all the tactical stuff done, to get people fresh, peak fitness, to get them working on the training ground, to get them going through drills. There's just so much he hasn't been able to do, because it's been game recuperation, a little bit of video work, a little bit of recovery work in the gym, nothing really out on the training ground. So having this time will benefit us. Well, at least it should benefit us. What's your score prediction for Saturday? Said Gary. 3-0 maybe. 3-0 win for the Reds, maybe 3-1. But I can see it being a pretty comfortable afternoon for us, if I'm being honest. Maybe I'm just being optimistic and hoping or expecting some type of a reaction to losing at City, but we're better than Brighton, so yeah, there's no reason we shouldn't go there and expect to win. I can't lie, when Lovren comes back I'm going to be worried. I mean, he has his moments, but he's inconsistent. Well, look, if he's coming back in February, Louis, then Gomez should be back as well, and you would imagine that Gomez will get the nod ahead of him, so we mightn't have to see Lovren for a while. Craig, when you make merch, put believe or don't stop believing. If we put don't stop believing, we'd probably be fucking sued, mate, for copyright somehow. I wanted us to go to the FA Cup. We need the league title. Actually, wouldn't surprise me if Klopp told his players to take it easy, said Virgil. Where were the amazing support from the City fans on Thursday? The City fans only seem to turn up for the big games, said Mohammed Ibrahim. I wouldn't have thrown the FA Cup, said Martin Butcher. And look, as I said the other day, buddy, I understand both sides of this conversation, and it's one of the very few occasions where I'm on the fence. I completely understand why you'd want to go and win a trophy, pal, and there's only 4 to play for every year, and people who say it's disrespecting the competition, and I can absolutely understand the other side as well, who believe, fuck it, we're on the, we're going for a league title here. This is the first time in 29 years we could win the league. All systems go for the league title, so it's a tough one, but I understand both sides of it. Craig's pretty level-headed, like most of us. I think I've only disagreed with Craig once in 9 months we've been on here. You're definitely in the minority there, buddy. I mean, I think I've disagreed with everybody on here. But you know what? It's okay to disagree. It's about how we disagree. And I hold myself accountable for this as well. There's definitely been times where I've overreacted or I've jumped down somebody's throat. And I can look back on those times and try and learn from them, which I always try to do. I mightn't always do it, but I'm always trying to learn. And I think that's something we can get a little bit more across on here. Yes, we mightn't always disagree, but that doesn't mean we don't like each other, or that doesn't mean you're an asshole. It just means that as fans, at times, we view particular instances or particular games in a different way, and that's okay, because we all have our own views on it. At the end of the day, we're all looking at these things because we want the best for Liverpool Football Club, in whatever way we're going to get there. So, it gets emotional on here at times, it gets heated, but sometimes just try and take a step away and relax and come back in. And as I said, that absolutely applies to me as well. Kev has put the Instagram account in there. Thank you very much, Kev. So if anyone wants to jump on there, or you're on Instagram, the Anfield Agenda account is really straightforward. It's just at Anfield Agenda. Really simple. And Kev has got that to 3,000 followers last I checked. So go on there and check it out. Maybe there's some nude pictures on there. I don't know. There isn't. I mean, there isn't. But, you never know. I don't care if City win or draw or lose once we can sleep well, said True Morgan. If I'm a betting man, I bet City will crumble again, said Mohammed. City are here to stay, said Low Fat. I don't know. How do you feel about the whole stuff with UEFA, by the way, Low Fat? I haven't really spoken to you about that. There's been a few bits and pieces in the media about it in the past couple of days. Are you expecting much back from UEFA on that one, or do you think it's just going to be all about nothing? The reason I used the laptop for the first time tonight is because I was too lazy to switch accounts. At least 4 months. Too lazy to switch accounts at least 4 months. Or I don't get you. Which accounts? I don't know. Brian, you've lost me there, pal. I mean, that's not unusual. I'm often baffled on here. With Lovren's injury, who do you think will play centre back next to Van Dijk? I would be amazed if it wasn't Fabinho. Although, as I said, Henderson was being looked at for the last game before he picked up a knock. I'm sure I saw some Werner rumours, Craig. I had a busy day today. The rumours that I'd seen and heard today, Louis, were that he's ruled out a move to Bayern Munich apparently, and Borussia Dortmund have ruled out a move for him. So that just leaves, Liverpool, Spurs and a few other clubs, I think. The picks are rumoured for Everton's new stadium. Looks like Spurs' new stadium. Looking like a toilet, said Tony Anthony. Nope, Tony Kelly, Craig. Read that properly. The next comment's from Anthony Peter, so that's where I was going. That paper talk about Tarkowski was in the Metro saying Burnley would want 50 million. See, that makes more sense than loaning him out, because loaning him made no sense whatsoever. And also, Chelsea are interested in Callum Wilson, and Bournemouth are quoting 50 million. But apparently Sarri wants Higuain. So there you go. Another little bit of transfer rumour. Everton's biggest mistake was leaving Anfield, said Tom Jones. Damn fucking right. But you know what we say to that, mate? Fuck him. Spurs Stadium delayed until March. Why don't you just fucking put it off till next season at this point? If it's March now, you've got March, April, May. Just put it off to next year and make sure it's all shiny and ready to go, and have a little pre-season in there. It just seems madness to rush it now. Just let it go for the rest of the season. I'm not as confident as you guys. I know there's a long way to go. I'm not getting carried away. So Gary, I'm not singing out that Gabriel Adam, but you have it in my head, mate. You have that song lyric in my head now. We've had our mid-season blip and we're going to pummel Brighton. We haven't really had a blip though. We lost one game to Manchester City, and we lost the cup game. I don't know, I wouldn't call that a blip. If I'm being honest, Everton got good defenders from that Barca crowd last summer. Craig, I take the League Cup just for Championship. And down as far as the National League. Again, yeah, yeah, I suppose I can understand your point. I'm Irish. How do you feel about Ireland's Euro qualifiers? Not very confident. Bravo shooter, if I'm being honest, mate. Not confident. But I'm not the right person to speak about Irish internationals because I don't really watch too many of them. Real Madrid will buy success back when they bounce back. Probably. I mean, that seems to be how they've gone in the past. Right, let me get back to some more comments. Great tweets about Trent Alexander-Arnold and YouTube club ranking. Great tweets about Trent and YouTube club ranking. I mean, I don't know what you mean there, Lambeg loyalist buddy. Have I missed something? I'm sorry if I've missed something there, but great tweets about Trent and YouTube club ranking. I've lost altogether. Are you worried about this Brendan Klopp? No, not at all. Brendan Klopp, nah, he's sound Klopp. I've absolutely no worries about Klopp at all. Do you think Grealish would be okay at Liverpool? No, I don't think he's good enough to play at Liverpool. Spurs always seemed like a club where he'd end up, and he was linked to, but I wouldn't have him at Liverpool personally. Ramsey has just moved to Juventus. Has he moved, or has he agreed to move for the summer, Max? Again, really like to know on that one. I haven't seen much transfer stuff outside of Liverpool today. I just subbed to you and liked the video, said Luke Mullins. Thank you very much, Luke. That's really kind of you. And guys, look, if you are watching out there and you haven't yet subscribed, there's still a little bit of time to do so on tonight's stream. And of course, if you could drop a like on the video, that would be very much appreciated as well. We are doing a watch along again, of course, for the game against Brighton on Saturday, and we'll be starting from 2:30, 3 PM kickoff this week in the Premier League for the Reds on Saturday. Ramsey went to Juventus. It's a good move for him, to be fair. It's a good move. It's always good to see English players having the balls to go and play in a foreign league. So, well, I know he's Welsh. Don't at me for that one. I know he's Welsh. I mean English-based players. Hey Craig, just arrived. Any thoughts on Hummels joining us on loan in January? Oh, and Paris just lost 2-1 to Guingamp. I know we've seen that one earlier on. Someone pointed me out. Hilarious stuff altogether. Hummels, I think it's just wishful thinking, Cameron. Can't see Bayern Munich loaning us a player when we're playing them in the Champions League. I agree for once with Merson. Tottenham playing catch up on Leicester each week, so let's hope it works in our favour. Night chaps, off to work. See you at the weekend. Good luck, low fat mate. Always a pleasure. It definitely would have sold out. Liverpool fans fill out massive stadiums every pre-season just for friendlies. The best one I remember was the MCG. That was amazing. That was amazing, mate. The You'll Never Walk Alone in there was absolutely class. Okay, what else we got? AA tweeted good about Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robbo price tag and Liverpool's most watched YouTube team. Oh, there you go. You see, I don't run the Anfield Agenda Twitter account anymore. I have some really, really cool people running it for us. One of them is in the chat there tonight. Dare I give away his name? Jersey Boy. Yeah, there's some great people. Between Charlie and Jersey Boy, they do put out some great tweets. And thank you again, mate, for the super chat. So kind of you. Really, really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. Divock Sturridge contracts run out this summer. Origi's is next summer, if memory serves me correct. Jose, I could be wrong on that, buddy. I think it's next summer though. Sturridge is definitely this summer. Jason McCarthy, how are you, sir? Welcome to the chat. Is Moreno gone yet? Said Jeffrey. Not quite yet, pal. Not quite yet. Ramsey gone to Juve. You look upset about that one, Sam. He was never coming here. I seen your Twitter, Craig. It looks good for Hummels to come to us. Again, That's not me. If you're talking about AA Twitter, I don't run that one at the minute. I've had to step away from the Anfield Agenda Twitter account because I just can't run all these things. I've got too much on between running this, getting ready for the other streams, doing the transfer videos, keeping in contact with other people that run the other accounts, and of course trying to look after things here at home. You'd be surprised how many hours of the day get taken up doing this stuff, but you know what, it's something that we love doing, so it's a pleasure. But we wouldn't be able to run Anfield Agenda without the help of amazing people like Connor, of course, who, look, it's myself and Connor that this, I won't say owns this, but we started this, with amazing people like Connor, Jersey Boy, Charlie, Kev, who runs the Instagram, who else is there that we need to help out with, the Facebook group as well. And then we've had people like Cash and people like Chris, Dave, Tom. I mean, there's a long list of people that have helped us get to where we are and continue to grow. So nothing but love for all of them, and the help that we've gotten from all of you guys as well. I mean, it's a group effort, as we keep saying. It really is a group effort. So lots of love to all of you, and thank you for the support. Sincerely, thank you. Didn't FSG say they wanted to expand Anfield's capacity to 75,000? It's my basic understanding of this, Alex, and again, there's probably somebody in the chat who's more capable of talking about this than me, but from what I understand, if you go much past the 60,000 mark, then you've got to look at increasing the infrastructure around it with regards to public transport systems and things like that. Now, I believe there was an old rail line that used to run to Anfield, or a tram line. Again, I'm not 100% sure. That could be being looked at to be reintroduced, but to get to 75,500, I mean, you're talking about probably investing a lot of money in infrastructure along with the city council. I don't think we'll ever see it get to that stage, if I'm being honest. I think if we got to the 63, 64, 66 mark maybe that we're talking about, that could be about it. As I said, it's a very, very naive understanding of it that I have, but I think once you go much over the 60 mark, then you've got to start increasing the public transport links and stuff like that, and Anfield isn't great for public transport. I've come to the conclusion De Bruyne and CFC mod are the same person, said Louis. Good night, Tom, mate. Always a pleasure. Why are you personally going dark on Twitter? I just need a break to refresh the batteries, mate. Just nothing other than that. Sometimes I find myself fucking shouting at the phone when I'm looking at Twitter on my phone. So just refresh the batteries, put a bit more focus on here, give a bit more time to this, and just step away from Twitter for the time being. Yeah, if we want this to grow, it needs time and it needs effort, and I want to be able to give my time and effort to this channel, because this is where most of my focus and attention is now. So if YouTube or Twitter has to suffer, then so be it. Chelsea are in for Wilson from Bournemouth for around 50 million. Yeah, that's a lot of dough, isn't it? 50 million. Lambeg Loyalist said I'd take him for 50 million. It's a lot of dough, but he's English as well, and we know that there's a tax or an extra fee on English players. Emre Can won't be at Juve long, said Virgil LFC. Robbie Hanna said Man City draws this season in the EFL Cup. Oxford, Fulham, Leicester, Burton, and the FA Cup, Rotherham at home. Champions League, Lyon, Hoffenheim and Shakhtar. And Schalke, sorry, Lyon, Hoffenheim, Shakhtar, Donetsk, and then Schalke. Nice to see Arab blood money boys. Look, as well, look, at the same time, look, it is what it is. The draws are draws. We've just had a shitty draw sometimes, and tougher draws, but the tougher European draws because we haven't been as active in the competition. Manchester City have been in the Champions League a lot over the last few years. They've got ranked higher, therefore they get an easier draw. I think in a few years' time, Liverpool will probably have a similar draw. Are you upset with not getting Pulisic? He wouldn't start immediately, but he's very young. Yes, I'm not going to lie. I said that at the time. I wanted Christian Pulisic. I think he's going to be an excellent player. If he doesn't go on to be very, very, very good, I'll be amazed. But I believe whatever reason Liverpool didn't go from, that they have somebody in mind, and I trust the manager and I trust the recruitment team. I trust the owners. But yeah, look, I would have loved him at the club. They did talk about wanting to increase the size. However, they said it would mean increasing a stand that would have no corporate suites and wouldn't be worth it. That's with regards to the Any Road end. They were talking about the fact that they couldn't have any corporate in it, as you've said, and it would take them longer to get back their layout. So I still think they'll go ahead and do that. But even at that, that will only take it to 66, I think, something like that. 64 actually, 64 and a bit, I think. Offer Juve £1 or £1 million for Can, said Steve. Brian Morris said he's right. You can't open something that big without making transport safe and infrastructure changes. Reckon Klopp could do a job at centre back for us. Never thought of that one. I mean, Kloppo, get the fucking brogues out, mate. I'm sure you'll get a free pair of New Balances and a pair of shin guards. There you go. Problem solved. Kloppo can come in there and do a job. Van Dijk will talk him through the game. It will be grand. True Morgan said, I don't agree. We've had a blip. We were beaten fair by arguably the best team in the world, and our B team lost to a very respectable Wolves side. Again, I think that's very sensible. That was pretty much what I said earlier on, so of course I'm going to agree. Would you rather want Dembele or Asensio? Dembele. I just think, yeah, he's a bit of a troublemaker. And yes, if the money was right, I just think Klopp could get so much out of that young man, because he's undoubtedly a tremendous talent, as is Asensio. I just like Dembele over those two personally, if his mood swings, shall we say, could be put to one side. I'm donating because you deserve it with your hard work. Thank you very much, pal. That's really kind of you. I understand money's tight for everyone, so every penny that goes to the channel, we do try to invest back into the channel. And I'll tell you how serious we are. We said we're going over to film the last day of the season, and we said Connor and myself had booked their flights over, and we booked our hotel and stuff. Well, I didn't really tell you the absolute truth of it. I want to account for every fucking penny that comes into Anfield Agenda, and I don't want anything to be squandered. So when we were booking the flights and we were booking the hotel, I said to Connor, you take care of the flights, because the flights, you know, they're a fixed amount, they can't be fucked about with, and I'll take care of the hotel. So Connor went and he booked the flights. He booked the Ryanair flights. I think they were 100 and... No, maybe they were a bit more actually. How much were they? Maybe they were €270, something like that. And I was left to book, because I was using Anfield Agenda money, I booked us into a hostel for £36 because I could find a room that fucking cheap. And I said to Connor, do you know what, mate, this isn't our money. This is people's hard-earned money that they're sending us. And he agreed. I mean, Connor doesn't need to be talked into saving a few quid. He's a very responsible young man. I spend money like a fucking drunken sailor, but that's usually my own money. I'm much more careful when people send us in money to the channel. So yeah, we went and we booked a hostel for the last day for £36. There you go. £1,000 for the last game versus Wolves, said Lambeck Loyalist, which is fucking scandalous. Are you from Dublin originally, Jason? I am, pal. Now I live in Wexford. Asensio can play on the left as well as number 10, said Cameron. What have we got? We're hovering around 7,200 subscribers, guys. So look, if you're there and you haven't hit the subscribe button, please take a second and do that. And look, we'll see if we keep pushing on, see where we get the channel. We're on the road to 10,000 now, which is amazing, and I can't wait till we hit our next big target. Asensio for me is number 10 who can play on the left, said Gio Jose. Would you rather win the UEFA Champions League, FA Cup and EFL Cup, or just the league? Just the league. This year, just the league. I want that fucking league more than anything. Next year, I'll take the treble, thank you very much, but this year, just the league. We had our blip at the beginning of the season. We just didn't lose any games, said Damien Lee. Love it, pal. I'm having that one. I wonder what the targets are going to be to change in the summer, said Tony Kelly. What are your thoughts on Koulibaly? He's an excellent centre-back. Absolutely quality. He won't be coming anywhere near Liverpool, mind, but anyone who gets him is getting a very, very, very good footballer. Enjoy your hostel, mate. It is what it is. It's just somewhere to get the head down, isn't it? We're not even going to be there for that long. I mean, we'll be filming a lot. A couple of hours kip, back up, airport, home. So, the hostel will be grand. Would you say Emre Can regrets moving to Juventus? No, I wouldn't. I think a lot of it might have been to do with lifestyle and the pace of the league, as well as, of course, wanting to play for a club like Juventus as well, which are a fantastic club, let's be fair. Liam Granby said, love to get Isco, said it for a long time now, but when Coutinho went, I said it'd be the perfect replacement, can play across the midfield and in the number 10. Please do an updated celebration with a Reese goal, said True Morgan. Nah, you can't fake these things. You've got to be honest and do them in real time. My mom's auntie has breast cancer and she's stage 4 and she's going to die. I hate to say it, but it's true. Condolences, mate. There's nothing else I can say, buddy. Condolences to you and the family. Stay on my couch for £20, said LFC. Right, guys, you know what? I'm going to call it a night there, if that's okay. It's a quiet one tonight, not much for us to get through. I'm not feeling the greatest either. I have a bit of a headache. I feel a little bit run down, so I wasn't going to come on, but I couldn't not come on because you guys deserve it. You guys deserve a little chat because you're absolute fucking legends. Look, apologies that it's going to be about half an hour shorter tonight than normal, but as I said, I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to everybody who subscribed or who liked the stream. Thank you to Lambeck Loyalists for all those super chats, mate. You're very, very kind. And look, if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so before you head off. Drop a like on the stream. I'll be back tomorrow and we'll start looking ahead to the Brighton game on Saturday. Look after your families, love each other, tell your loved ones you care, and up the motherfucking Reds.